All right, here we go. I've been so excited about this since I first heard we were going go-karting. Oh, a bit tight. Got to lay off the cheesecake a little bit. Welcome to Translogic. I'm Jonathon Buckley. For the most part, race car drivers aren't born race car drivers. Sure, some of them have innate skill, but they all have to start somewhere. And usually that somewhere is go-karts. And now with the new era of electric racing, it seems only fitting that go-karts should follow suit. I'm here with Richard Hilleman. He's the team principal of Rattlesnake Electric Sport. How did this all come about?
There was a competition called Refuel that's held every year at Laguna Seca, and I had built some electric cars that were street cars, and they were an embarrassment on a racetrack. And so the intention was to go build something that actually had the chance to set an EV lap record for Laguna Seca. And we own all the other ones. We'll get the Laguna one this year.
You've got a gas-powered background. At what point was it that you just went, you know what, EV's the way of the future?
I mean, I grew up in the pits. My grandfather raced American dirt track stock cars. But I turned 50, which is the same age Paul Newman started racing, and I said, this is the time to do it. And so I didn't want to go learn carburetors.
Yeah.
It's too late to learn carburetors.
Well, we were recently at Formula E, and that kind of got my juices flowing a little bit. I was like, you know what, how do I end up getting paid to drive a race car? And I guess the first step for everybody is to come and hop in a go-kart, isn't it?
Yes, that's absolutely right. And we're just a part of that education process. What we do is we add to your resume all of the strategy, all of the electromechanical, all of the physics understanding that makes you a better member of that Formula E team when you show up.
What do you think it is about go-kart racing that's so valuable for drivers?
It's pure. All the time out here, people with ratty old stuff beat people with brand new stuff. And the reason why is because good driving matters most. This is really where the best and the brightest get their start and get the chance to measure themselves. And it really isn't the place where money wins very many races by comparison.
I guess it's time to get suited up and hit the track. Awesome. Thanks. Concentrate. These karts are so stable. They're like super wide footprint, low to the ground. Brake, turn in. It's just making me feel like I'm slow. I swear, by the end of the day, they're gonna find my fingernails in the steering wheel of this thing. This is hard work. How much would it cost to build one of these karts?
Brand new with as good a stuff as we have on here with all the charging necessary to go racing, it's about $20,000, and you should expect to race for 3 years on that package.
3 years of racing for 20 grand?
That's no motor changes. We have in 5 years never destroyed a motor.
What sort of batteries do you have inside?
Yeah, so these are a lithium-ion chemistry called MCO, which is manganese cobalt oxide. For the first couple of years we were in the service, we were really fighting battery heat. That was our #1 problem. We have an entire dry ice cooling regime to get them to the optimum temperature to go out to maximize what we can get out of them. We have now developed our driving techniques to such an extent that we've moved that heat from the battery to the motor.
So the kart itself, CE-rated chassis with a zero motorcycle engine?
That's right.
I can, just from standing here, I can see that you've used a lot of 3D printed parts as well.
This year's kart has a couple of characteristics that were designed to make it more producible.
Okay.
One of them is all the aluminum on it is water cut, one sheet fold up stuff, so it's very quick to build. I can build it in high volume. And then the 3D printed materials, there's about a kilogram or about 48 hours of 3D printing on every kart.
Oh man, I could get used to this. I think I want one. I actually think I want one. I don't know about 20 grand. Brake, ripples. All right. Whoa! So tell us a little bit about your company, Rattlesnake Electric Sport.
The karts were the first step. We manufacture these and race them as a team. We sell used vehicles, we sell new ones. We also do some consulting and some training, which is teaching people how to maximize both the thermal and energy coefficients of their driving. We do that for kart racers, we do that for car racers, we've done it for drivers you've heard of.
Since you've been racing, you've actually had quite a lot of success, haven't you?
So I think the next race will be the 100th race for the chassis and for the team that we've won in the last 3.5 years. Much to my surprise, I got told in London last year that we're actually the winningest electric vehicle racing team in the planet.
That's awesome.
Much to our surprise.
There's been discussions just with friends of mine about starting inner city go-kart tracks or even electric dirt bike tracks, because we can do these sorts of things now without creating noise, without annoying the neighbors, and without polluting the environment.
The most successful kart races in America already are in city centers. So SCUSA, which is the premier professional karting series in America, runs almost all of their stuff on what are fabricated kart tracks that take place in parking lots. They've already figured out you have to go to the customer. Formula E has already figured out you have to go to the customer. That's not just an electric trend, that's a motorsports trend.
Just keeps pulling and pulling. Little twitchy. Keep up. This thing is a weapon and it's a little bit squirrely. All right, what can I say? That was absolute insanity. I really have no idea what happened for the last 10 minutes that I was out there, because I was just holding on for dear life. Any reservations I guess I had going out that this maybe wasn't going to be as fast, or if I wasn't sure if it was going to be as quick or as good as a shifter kart, instantly went out the window. Because it is so light and because of the way that electric power is delivered, this kart will keep pulling and pulling and pulling as long as you keep your foot flat to the floor until you decide to lift your foot off the accelerator and start braking. And I think that that's what makes this so initially intimidating, but then once you get over that, it just becomes so much fun. And I'm just so stoked that I still have the rest of the day to try and master this thing. So awesome. Well, Rich, I know I'm just a rookie, but how did I do out there today?
You were great.
All right.
Come back anytime you like.
Well, you have to say that because we've got the camera there and everything.
I mean it.
I've got to say, for what you guys have done with an electric kart, it's absolutely remarkable. If you guys ever get a chance, you have to come and try something like this once in your lifetime. For Translogic, I'm Jonathon Buckley. We'll catch you next time.